Well, college prep courses are not just for high schoolers getting ready for the next step. They can also be for middle schoolers. So today I'm joined by Dr. Cheryl Ward and Angela Cologne from E3 Civic High to talk about college readiness tips for parents of middle schoolers. It's never too early. Don't stress about it, but it's never too early, right?
That's right.
So Dr. Ward, what do we want parents of middle schoolers to start thinking about? Because the high school seniors, they've just gotten accepted. They're all excited and ready to go. But if you've got that middle schooler, start thinking about what?
So first thing is to relax. Don't stress, right? Because we start thinking about high school and we get stressed out. So that's the first thing, relax. And then think about how you're going to expose them to as many different things as we possibly can. And so Angie's going to share a little bit more about the exposure piece, but then also think about sports. There's so much to think about in getting them ready, not just for high school, but college and career.
Yeah. So Angelica, we're looking for that well-rounded student, right? That's what we all talk about, that experience. So what do you want to do? What if your child is not just really academic focused and not really into a lot of the other activities, sports or arts?
Right. So the first thing that I think every family can participate in is definitely creating that college-going culture at home. The first easy way to do that is to just talk about college, talk about the different terms, looking up and discussing what is the difference between a bachelor's degree, between a master's degree, what does a major mean, what does a college credit even mean. Starting this as young as middle school can definitely lessen the stress and the overwhelming feeling that comes with the entire college process.
All right, so you want to introduce them to the ideas of that, and that will help kind of alleviate the last minute stress. Okay, so that's kind of the first tip, create a college-going culture at home. Second tip is to find your passion through those extracurricular activities, and it doesn't have to be sports.
Doesn't have to be sports. So when you're in middle school, you want to try out all the different electives, because there's nothing that you have to worry about in terms of your grades. When you get to high school, you're like, oh my God, if I take this, how's it going to affect my grade?
Right.
But in middle school, you don't have to worry about that. So try out different things that you think you might like, things that sound interesting. Take all of those electives. And then if you can take classes at the community college or summer programs, get into as many summer programs as you can. Some are free. You can go through the YMCA. Some have scholarships. So if there's something that you're interested in, don't be afraid to apply for it. If you think, oh, well, I can't afford it, that's okay. Many of them have scholarships. So apply anyway, and then apply for the scholarships as well.
What about sort of the community service projects? We're starting to see a lot more of that. That's becoming really important to colleges, that you're taking the initiative to either volunteer or start a community service-oriented project. Is that something that you really tell the students to think about and focus on?
Oh, definitely. And especially at our school at E3 Civic High, we definitely focus on that civic service or community service component. We have 2 weeks out of the year that we actually call Civic Service Week, and we give them that opportunity to complete that community service. We just think it's very important to give back to the community, but through those activities, a lot of times students are able to find, oh wait, I actually really like maybe this sector of it or a different part of it, and they're able to then find what could be their future major just by trying it out. Find
the passion, yes. Okay, so the third tip, strategic course selection in middle school. So we have to start strategically selecting what we're going to be taking.
So one thing that I think a lot of families also don't know is that in 7th and 8th grade, you can actually take high school level math and foreign language. Now, it's not necessarily just going to say that in the class title, so it's important to talk to your counselor at your middle school or your registrar there to make sure you're taking those courses. But the whole point behind that is the exposure piece, right? Exposing you to the challenging work that you're going to see at the next level. That helps the transition when you get to the next level. It's not as shocking. You don't have to spend as much time trying to adapt, and it's just that earlier exposure for them.
All right, and here's the one that stresses me out the most. I think I'm not alone, but it's preparing to finance college.
So you can do that. You can start as early as 3, right?
And perfect.
So really, it's looking for those scholarships in elementary school, middle school, and surprisingly enough, there are scholarships starting from probably kindergarten. So look for those, apply for those, and start to build your bank of scholarship monies so that when you become a senior, you're like one of our kiddos, Anna Little Sana, who had $410,000 in the bank and her tuition, room and board paid for at George Washington.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's how you do it. it.
That's
All
it.
right. Now I'm going to
That's
start
it.
collecting his coloring photos and give his scholarship to my preschooler.
That's right.
Thank you, ladies. Really important tips. I know parents that it really helps just to start planning now. Thank you.
Thank you.